It's
Copyright,
hard to
guys.
start it. Like, what's the start of
'Cause
it?
I'll just
Every
do it.
time we touch,
I get this feeling, and every time we kiss, I swear I could fly. Can't you feel my heart beat fast? I want this to last. I need you by my side.
'Cause every time we touch, I get this feeling, and every time we kiss, I swear I can fly. Can't you feel my heart beat fast? I want this to last. I need you by my side. Episode 6, baby. Clap it up. Wow, well,
Oh, we're starting.
very excited, blessed to be here, everybody. Gotta shout everybody out. I mean, Cascada for one. I mean, you put together a great song, so thank you so much for all the
Phenomenal.
memories. Thank you for the concert that was coming up that we're all gonna go
where's
to.
that
December
again, Chris?
1st, we're there.
December 1st at Mulcahy's, right?
Okay,
Be there.
Be there. I don't care where you're
Or
from.
be
You
square.
show up.
You gotta be
should
there.
be there or be square.
Lex will be there.
Yes,
you
sir.
should be there.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Anyway, guys, introducing everybody. I mean, we got Tom, partner relationship manager. I mean, you guys know Tom. 5 episodes deep right now.
Yeah, it's been some time.
Yes, sir.
We love our Tom.
Love the hat.
Hat
Thank
looks
you.
good.
We
Right?
sat down.
That
We're like,
looks
you
good.
wearing that? He's
Did
like,
you
"Yup."
steal that from Mr. Fragaletti
I did.
when he was here?
I heard that came from
My
Frankie's
last
contractor.
Be careful.
Frankie's contract.
All I gotta say is be
That's where it
careful.
came from.
Yeah, you should be careful. It depends.
I don't know
Anyway,
the
He's
story
always
about
got the
Frankie's
hammer on him.
contractor.
Chief Operating Officer Grizzly,
How you doing?
aka Grizzly. Only
That's
thing
it.
he's called around here.
Didn't even
very,
hit him with the government.
very special guest Ryan Shao,
How are we?
Vice
How are we?
President,
Oh,
VP of Sales. Boo Chow.
Boo,
Boo,
just
Chow.
joking, but yeah,
Boo.
boo.
And of course, Director of Bank Relations Appio Fragaletti,
Hello, everybody.
CEO Frankie. Gotta dive into Chow. You know, we got him here. He's here with us.
He's here
Chow's
for a
our buddy.
reason.
He's here for a reason. We call Ryan Chow.
Ciao.
Chow.
So basically, Ryan, we really just want to kind of get into just like what you do here, and we'll kind of start digging into you from there. So what do you do? What's your day to day?
Yeah, so I'm going to be the VP of sales over here. So I'm handling the majority of the files that get sent over. I'm getting them across the finish line, finishing off the deal, getting it closed out with the lenders, working in the background, and just ultimately getting deals funded and making everybody money.
We
I
like
would
that.
call that
So-
my job.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fun job.
Sounds like a fun
Yeah,
job.
listen,
Sounds like a
get
fun
no
job.
complaints on this side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he's damn good at what he does. Me and Chow, we coincide every once in a while to try and get a client's credit profile into where it needs to be, and we're in constant talks with a decent amount of our files for people who might have high credit card utilization, who need to take care of their credit card utilization to get to a good standing point, so their credit jumps up to where it needs to be. But I know damn well that you're very good at your job, to say the least.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Of course.
I
Thank
know
you.
Chow and Tom talk a lot too, partner relations and Mr. Closer, right?
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
talk about it.
absolutely. We're getting a lot of referral partner files sent over. They
Absolutely.
are definitely interesting, to say the least. But we work very hard for all our referrals, and we get them across the finish line. So,
Absolutely. And it's so funny now where we sit, because when I first started, me and Chow sat right next to each other, and now it's just from across the room, it's just Chow. Chow. And we're just yelling across the room or G-chatting. It's a good time.
yeah, it came a long way.
Absolutely.
Definitely came a long way.
Absolutely.
And you came a long way to begin with. I mean, you're one of the originals over here at Lexington, so that's a big reason why we wanted you on the show.
The core four.
Core 4, yeah, simple as that. One of the first episodes when we had Corey on, I explained to everybody this company started out with me, Ryan, Nicolette, Corey, and then 2 other guys who aren't here anymore.
Yeah.
That don't really matter at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
can
Ryan's
tell
an
that
original. He's an
Yeah.
OG. That's
it's
the
the
original
OG
shirt. He's very knowledgeable in every product and program. He deals with a lot of the referral partners as well. And like I said, I mean, he's just very good at what he does, very skilled, helps a lot of the new guys out, trains them, gets them not just where they need to be on a sales aspect, but even on like a life aspect. So
Absolutely.
appreciate what you do around
And
here.
great fashion sense as well. I mean,
Yeah. Always
look
dresses
at
good.
that drips.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Big
mean, look
Chow
at these.
drips.
Listen, I used to not wear the belt, but
Oh yeah. Oh, you're wearing a belt.
the
He's
belt.
wearing I've
the
been hounding this
belt. He's
guy
wearing the
for
belt.
weeks to put on a belt. He comes in so nice. The dress pants, the tucked in shirt, no belt. Guy's got a belt today, and I couldn't be more proud of him.
And honestly,
Absolutely.
this is like dress down day for Chow.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually you're dressed even a
It's
little
casual
nicer.
Tuesday.
He gives Appio a run for his money with sometimes.
He does.
He
never
does.
never
Yeah.
won best dress though.
That's
It's crazy.
crazy.
Oh, neither
That's-
of I think I
There,
don't think
there's
I have
apparently
that.
a list of people who actually have it out for me that I haven't given best dress yet. I'm not gonna call you out, right? But yeah, I got a vendetta against me apparently. So I gotta start spreading the love apparently like Little League baseball.
Is it
So,
even you or?
we're gonna start giving
That's why
out
I'm never worried about
participation
getting- That's why I'm
trophies.
never too worried about getting the best dress. I mean, I'll bust.
You know you win it. I mean,
I
you're the
know
best
I'm
looking dude in the office. So, like, you got to win best dress
I
too.
don't like to win.
It's
You know?
unfair. It's just unfair.
It's unfair. Give Chow best dress. Chow, I'm
Best dress.
sorry.
I deserve it.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
you do deserve it.
Yes,
You do
sir.
deserve it.
So Chow comes from humble beginnings. Went to school with me and Tom. So that's how I met Ryan. Grew up in the same hometown. I got Ryan into the restaurant industry, which is what I kind of want to dive into right now. A lot of our employees, they all came from a lot of different backgrounds, a lot sales related in different aspects, but a big, I'd say, consensus of our group came from the restaurant industry. Tom as well. I was in the restaurant industry. Appio's dabbled in it.
My first
We were
job.
definitely in it a little more, I'd say. Tom worked for years at Cheesecake Factory. Ryan, a few different good top end
Ryan
restaurants.
kept me out of the restaurant industry.
Wow,
Story for
that's
a
a
different
story
podcast.
we are gonna have to tell on this podcast.
All right, I guess it's
We're
coming
gonna,
out.
yeah, just
All right.
tell it now, real
Bastard.
quick. This
All
is
right.
good. This is
So-
good. This is good.
I'm working my shift at Rogero's. Shout out
Yeah.
that place, by the way. Great restaurant. I see an
Yeah,
application.
I'm in a little bit of a weird. I'm gonna start it off a little bit chronologically.
All right, so-
I'm in a tough spot in my life. I'm looking to get another job. I'm looking to pick up a
Just
second
started the
job,
real
get
estate?
some extra hours. I'm in real
so
estate
upset,
right
bro, you
now. Bastard.
I'll never forget what you found.
And
me.
And if you didn't know, I'm not an Irishman, right? I'm an Italian man, so I wanted to go to. I wanted
Nice
to go,
Italian
I'm,
restaurant.
I'm not an Irishman. I'm an Italian man, so I wanted to be in the restaurant industry, pick up some extra hours outside of my real estate job at a restaurant, at a nice local Italian restaurant. And I have a connect too. I have an in. Yunucci. He sets me up with the manager. I walk in. I'm dressed. I sit down. I have dinner with a buddy of mine. I leave a really nice tip. I have the manager come leave me an application. I fill out the application while I'm eating my dinner. I leave it with her. I chat with her for 5 minutes. I leave, and I never get a damn call back. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I call in, nothing. Now you could pick it up.
So I go into work one day,
What's the bourbon?
and I'm just I'm opening the restaurant, slicing lemons, doing typical opening stuff. And I walk into the office. I see an application on the board. Read the name, Appio
On top of the
Fragoletti.
board too.
Absolutely, he's the only one on there. Appio Fragoletti. This is only one person I know with that name. There's got to be him. There's no other way. So a little backstory. At that time, Appio was not currently friends with most people that are
the
here.
The crowd knows. The viewers know if they
Yeah,
watched the
we
earlier
spoke about
podcast.
it. Me and Appio had beef.
Yeah.
Yes. For a little bit.
And so I call Frankie, my right hand man, give him a shout, and sorry, throwing you under the bus. a
Nah,
little
it's
bit.
cool. It's cool.
And,
Appio's well aware of what
I'm
happened.
well aware.
It's rough.
And
I'm sorry.
I show him the application, and we start laughing together. And I look at him, and I take the application, and I rip it up, and I go into my manager's office, and I say, "Yo, we're not hiring that kid. Yeah, he's got beef with my friend." And that was that. I kid you not. My manager
was
took
that.
my word
Horrible.
and said, "Okay."
Horrible.
Well, my father's gonna watch this.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be
Oh, no,
so
listen, I
mad.
Tony.
Tony. I was
We're
not
so sorry,
involved in
Tony.
the making of that, Tony. But all
Water
right,
under
so
the bridge.
plead
Fun-
the fifth.
funny story. Dive back into why we got into this anyway. So Ryan really came from nothing. Came from our hometown, so that's a big reason why I want him to start the company with us. I mean, other than the fact that he was a born salesman to begin with before he even knew. Did it in a multitude of ways, but I think you really flourished in the restaurant industry is where you were really at before you found Lexington. So yeah, just talk to us about how the restaurant industry is. I want to talk about the sales aspect of the restaurant industry and kind of how it molded you to being, the VP of sales at Lexington.
Yeah, absolutely. So the restaurant industry is by far the most cutthroat industry you could ever possibly work in. I will say that without a doubt. There's just no loyalty or respect at all in the restaurant industry. One thing I will say,
Clearly.
one thing
Oh,
I
I'm
will say
sorry.
is it does give you a great aspect on how to talk to people. You would be surprised. Everybody wants to come in and ask for accommodations, and you just have to be a people's person in the restaurant industry. Customer's always right. And that big aspect of sales is making the customer happy. That's what sales comes down to ultimately. And if you can figure out how to do that, you can be successful.
100%.
I agree. I also think the restaurant industry helps people understand certain things. They have an idea that something is supposed to go this way, when in reality that's not always how a certain restaurant operates. And if you have the talking skills to show someone how something operates and make it more clear to them, then it makes the process ahead of you infinitely easier.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had a restaurant file that I was able to help them save 15% on inventory just by telling them to switch their providers on who they were getting
Yeah.
food from, and
Yeah.
they literally called me up 3 months later and said, "Ryan, thank you." But that's when you have background knowledge, it's easy to apply that into a different space.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
it makes
don't
you
have
quick
that
on your
knowledge.
feet. Quick on your brain rather.
Absolutely, definitely.
It's definitely more of like a consultative type of sales, I think personally. You know, it is a cutthroat industry, but like you're, as you guys said, you're like guiding people along the way and like they're helping them make decisions, showing them different things, you know.
It's a psychological sale, actually.
Very
It's a
psychological.
psychological sale.
Upselling in the
Upselling.
restaurant
And
industry.
It's psychological, and I don't want to dive into all of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't want people to think I'm a bad guy. But I mean, when we were waiting tables, I mean, we're trying to make the most money possible.
course.
We want to upsell. And what was cool about the restaurant that I worked in, it was Cafe Amici in Selden, was that we're a lower middle class neighborhood, right? So a lot of walks of life came into Cafe Amici. So dealing with all kinds of people from all different ethnicities, backgrounds, ages, everything. You know what I mean? So that I think really molded me personally for just this space and this job, and being able to just tailor how I speak to someone based off of really how they are. And that's ultimately what people want, is they want to do business with people who sound and talk just like them and feel the same way as them.
It's the mirroring tactic.
Yeah, it's the mirroring
tactics.
tactic. Yep.
One of the best tactics that you could really use, as simple as it is.
Yeah.
Match them.
Yeah, it gives you
100%.
like a trait that a lot of people don't have, where you can walk up to someone and the first few words out of their mouth, you can get a good idea of what's gonna make them feel more comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
just right off the bat.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with even phone sales, and that's why it might be a little harder to pick up on, because sometimes if you look at somebody and they talk a certain way, you know what I mean, you kind of already know, but you only get that voice on the phone, right?
Mhm.
So it's even more imperative to be keen and really just decipher, you know what I mean, where this guy's probably at geographically, right? And what his feelings might be just based off literally like the way he sounds. As crazy as that sound, but it's definitely possible. I mean, there's a lot of psychological, what's the word?
Psychological.
Were things that go into sales.
One thing I'm very
Psychology,
conscious
baby.
of is how fast people from New York talk. We are exponentially quicker than
yeah.
a lot of the people in
Yeah.
the rest of the country. So knowing that, going into a situation where I'm getting a deal taken care of, I know I have to slow my conversation down, make sure they understand exactly what's going on, and not overwhelm the client. It's huge.
Definitely. I'd slow myself down. Sometimes extremely slow. I mean, especially for clients who speak a little bit broken English, maybe they're a little foreign, or just need to take it slower for them. I sometimes I talk slow, where I'm shocking myself. Like we're from New York, we talk fast. Everything we do is fast.
Yeah.
Fast. But then when you speak to certain people, they need it to be spoken to slow, and they appreciate it. more
They
than
do,
anything.
because they
Yeah.
know you're a New Yorker, and they know you're trying to do that for them and tailor it to them.
It's something that Ryan actually instilled in my head when I first started. We were listening to one of my calls, and he's like, "Dude, you were talking way too fast for this person. Like you're going through all this information, and they heard none of it."
Yeah.
I tried to instill that into my assistant today.
I was literally just about to bring him up. Like, we're trying to talk about how, like, you need a switch in sales. Like, when we're talking to each other, like, oh, what's going on, man? How you doing? But, like, when you talk to a client, hey, sir, how are you today? Like, you got to pronounce your words. You got to use the full words. You can't just, like, cut corners. And, we're teaching him that. And, yeah.
Yeah, no, just to either drop a word, not how you doing today. This is, how are
Yeah.
you today?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to be more proper.
Mhm.
Definitely.
You going to send in
Load.
that email? No. Are you going to respond to my email? You're going to send me the
Yeah.
email? Like, no gunnas,
Mhm,
Yeah.
Going to.
Yeah, going
the
to.
A
little
lot of these kids are
things.
improper nowadays.
That,
Absolutely.
almost
You gotta be
everybody
proper. You
growing
gotta
up
I
be
nowadays
catch
is
proper.
I catch
proper.
myself even texting. Sometimes texting it's the worst. It's just
Yeah.
it's so easy to
Yeah.
send a quick text
Yeah.
message and then you reread
No,
it.
you
and
you
you're
want to
like,
spell everything out to
Oh,
your
God.
clients. Like,
I was
word
sending
for
an email
word.
today, and on accident I wrote BC instead of because.
Yeah.
Oh,
Before
yeah.
I sent it, I caught it. I
Yeah.
proofread it real quick, but what
And,
happened today?
an advantage that you have too, taking that kind of consultative and slower approach with your clients, is going to help out in our industry specifically, because I'd say probably like 70% of all MCA shops are in New York, right?
Let's bump that
Yeah.
up to 85.
Probably even 85. I'd
Then
say then like
10%
10 is
Miami.
in Miami, Florida, and then the rest are in
5%
California.
scattered
They might have
around.
corporate
Scattered
offices.
around
They
the
might
rest
have
of the
corporate
world.
offices
So-
elsewhere, but they're
Yeah,
money
and they don't
makers
work hard
are
like
here.
we do to change the way that they go at the client, like the way that they, their approach, right?
Yeah.
And that's the difference between really us and them. I mean,
one big thing that we do, I think, compared to everybody else, is that first initial discovery phone call that we have with our clients, where we kind of just, really just dive into their needs and just see exactly like, what product that they might qualify for, one, and see if that would even fit like what they're even really looking for. Because sometimes you're trying to fit a square peg
hole,
into
yeah.
a round hole, and it's not working, right?
No.
So a lot of these other places will just yes the customer to death, get the simple application bank statements, only apply them for one product, and it's just the complete wrong product, and they didn't even really hear them out,
Not
and it
even
didn't
look at
even
the
make
whole
sense
picture.
for the situation. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Absolutely.
There's a lot of clients that when I'm talking to, there's another route or two that they can take. I mean, our program, it's the creme de la crop, to be honest with you. But every once in a while, I'll suggest to somebody to go over to the SBA,
it's that A1 sauce.
or even go to their local credit union. It's
Yeah.
that A1
It's
sauce.
that A1 sauce. A1 sauce.
That A1 credit.
The feeling in your
So Appio, what other sales have you done? You've done. I mean, talk about your other.
Everything,
Yeah,
yeah.
talk about.
There's the boat.
I guess that's kind of like restaurants, like selling in like a way. though.
The boat was interesting. So with the boat, I sell. I'm actually happy to talk about it. I didn't dive into it on the first podcast on the introduction. So with the boat ice cream sales, it was more about repetition. How many times can I circle around this one person's boat in that given day without it being too much? Because the more that you wave an ice cream sign in front of somebody's face in the
Yeah.
hot sun, the first time, I'm selling ice cream at $5 a pop for a
Yeah.
freaking SpongeBob.
Yeah.
The first time I wave it around, I'm
Supply
gonna
and
go
demand.
broke. Second
Yeah.
time I wave it around, my kids screaming and yelling. I'm still gonna wait. Third time I roll around, I cannot take this anymore. Shut my kid up. Take my money.
Yep.
Where's
Give me
the
the
ice
ice
cream?
cream.
Yeah, there you go.
How many times can I
Yeah.
put myself in front of that customer? I mean,
And
that was a big
listen,
thing for the ice cream sales.
What's nuts about that is that equates to kind of like everything we do here in the sense of like
Absolutely.
we run ads, right? So in order for someone to recognize your brand, they need to see it like 6 or 7 times for them to recognize it. It's kind of
Yeah.
like the same exact thing.
Yeah.
You got to put yourself in front of these people, let the kids, whoever you're selling the product to, see it, right? And nag the parents to buy it. I mean, that's not what we sell, right? But
You know what
But
they say?
that's
You have
cool.
to have 6 or 7 points of contact before a sale is made.
Yeah. And phone sales, like we always talk about, just follow-ups,
Yeah.
right? Follow-ups are so important. And never say you're following up when you follow up. That's
No.
another important.
Ever.
Yeah, never say, hey, I'm just following up, because then you literally sound like a salesman, right?
Mhm.
Never want to do that ever. Just never use that
No
word.
other words either. No touching base, circling back. Like
But what a
Yeah.
lot of these people do is like they'll follow up with their clients like 6, 7, 8 times, and then they're getting the same exact response, like, "Oh, I'm busy. Oh no," and you could clearly tell they're pushing you back, right? So if something's not working, clearly you need to just try something different. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. So next time, maybe go at him with like, just ask how he's doing, ask how his day's going, ask how the business is going. His son had a baseball game the other day. Take something from your initial first few conversations and just talk to him about it, and then maybe by the end of the conversation you'll be surprised to be like, "Oh, look, Frank, I'm actually going to send the bank statements over. You just reminded me."
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many times that happened, because you didn't sound like a hungry salesman just contacting this guy every day for his bank statements.
My easiest thing to relate with these people over is sports. Dude, people love sports, especially
Everyone
business
loves
owners.
sports.
Everybody loves sports.
Everyone
so if you
loves
can
sports.
bring
I
up a
don't care
sport
for 'em.
and mention it to their state, and right there, you're in.
Yeah.
yeah.
Conversation starter.
Yeah. Send them articles on their industry.
Yeah.
Send them just tips and tricks to keep their employees happy.
Yeah.
You know, send them like, we're all on.
Send them this podcast.
Send them this podcast that
Absolutely.
we send out our content. Like, our marketing team creates a ton of content. So we'll shoot out our content to them, just show all our products and programs,
Yeah.
right?
We have a folder. Guys just go in, pick like, oh, this one's
Yeah.
for that guy. Send it out. Boom. That's a point of contact.
Yeah,
You know?
100%. And you're not really coming at the guy salesy. I mean, you're just giving them some information on our company, and
So-
that's how sales has to be. It's not supposed to be salesy all the time, and that's the
Yeah.
problem with people in our space is they're salesy too much, and they're
Way
pushing
too
the
much.
customer they're pushing the customer away ultimately,
Yeah.
right? And they're pushing it into people like ours hands, because
Right into our lap.
right into our lap, because
Which-
we're going
thank
to
you,
take
by
that
the way, guys.
consultative approach, right? And we're going to really listen to them, listen to their needs, and then take care of them from there and fit them with the best product and program.
Yeah. And the guy who doesn't need it today or tomorrow or next week or next month, if you keep seeing your content, he's gonna remember it.
Yeah, he's
And
going to
then
remember.
7 months from now,
He
or
needs
maybe
money,
He knows someone
he
who
just
needs it.
remembers.
He's like, yo, I've been talking to this company. They always reach out to me. They're nice guys. Go talk to them. They can get you what you need.
Biggest thing about business is it changes every single day. Something could pop up in literally 5 minutes that could change your business
Yep.
forever.
Catastrophically. or in a good way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good,
You
a
never
great
really
way.
know.
You can
Yeah.
get the opportunity of your lifetime.
Yeah.
You just need 100,000.
You
You
might
have met Lexington.
like a small time contractor like your dad back in the day. Well, I'm sure when he landed that first job, that first big job building that mansion, he might have needed some extra capital.
Yeah.
So it could be in a good way or it could be in a devastating way as well. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But regardless,
I mean,
the
circling
need
back
for
to,
capital always arises.
There's
circling back
always
to point of contact. I mean, I kind of wanted to relate it to car sales a little bit.
You
Where
do
the
car
how
sales.
completely different they are. I mean, I did it for a decent stint, and how we get so many points of contact, and we want, you know, we don't just sell a deal on the first pitch, on the first go around, or at least I personally don't. Not with my program. My program takes a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But with car sales, I mean, you get an up in, which an up is just somebody walking into the dealership, and it's your turn up. You get the up in, you walk up, and you try to spot them. You try to sell them on the spot. And it's a combination of being pushy and being pulley and putting them down a little bit, while also just explaining how awesome this vehicle is and how good you would look in it, but doing anything you can to make them purchase it on the spot before they even leave that dealership.
Yeah.
Is because, I mean, that's where most of your good sales are going to come in, unless you've been in the industry for a long time and you have repeat customers, obviously. But
I got by a car salesman one time.
you
Oh,
got
no.
you got to.
Not very proud
Another
of it,
key
but
thing is
yeah.
a lot of people have like guilt if they've worked for a salesman for an hour, 2 hours. They feel like they have to buy
They're-
something
yeah.
from you.
Yeah.
And I used to
Obligated.
be very sellable back in the day, where you can sell me if you even just freaking remotely tried. Because I have I don't know, I have a lot of remorse
Buyer's remorse.
or yeah, I mean, not my buyer's
Pre-buyer,
remorse,
yeah.
but like I guess like heart, where I start to feel bad for the salesman. Where I'm like I was in Bob's Furniture not even too long ago. I was in Bob's Furniture and I spent an hour and a half picking stuff out, and then eventually he pulls I get the whole price list at the very end, and I'm like, are you kidding me? This is
Yeah.
expensive. And then you got delivery and the set it up fee. I have a pickup truck. Let me load it. I have 2 guys here. Let me load it up into my freaking truck and set it up myself. I'm a man's man. I did construction my whole life growing up with my pops. Like, I don't want to pay an extra $500 for this. And I didn't end up buying anything by the end of the day. But man, I felt bad. I
Still
felt
didn't buy
bad.
though.
I still didn't buy it. But
Still
this-
didn't buy though.
it took for the very end. I was like, oh my god, like. And the guy literally told me, he's like, you don't have to do it, dude. And I was like, thank you. I'm
He
not
was
doing
so-
it.
yeah,
he
was
had
so-
you too.
He had
let you go.
me.
He let you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, honestly, he
That
had
was his
me.
last sales tactic. He was pulling. He was pulling
He was
away. You don't
pulling.
have to.
Maybe
Never
thinking
say
thinking
that.
you'd be
Yeah.
like,
Never let him
"Oh,
get
I'll
me
do it."
out. No.
Would you
but-
go back though? That's the question.
Yeah, when I'm ready. I mean, my whole room.
So he left a
and
good
house-
impression. You left a good impression, the salesman.
To him, yeah,
Okay.
I would go back to him, and yes, actually, yes, that now that's how you're phrasing it, yes, I would go back to him, and when I'm ready to purchase my set, I'm definitely gonna go back and give him the shot.
We like that.
Life insurance.
Regular insurance.
Grizzly. Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
Grizzly sold insurance.
Actually, I do have my
Thought it
life
was
license.
life.
Get a
but
list
yeah,
of your
no, I
100
got the
family
life
and
license.
friends.
Yeah,
That was
oh,
my life
dude.
insurance experience.
So I got lucky to where I got my life license after I had my normal one. So like I didn't have to do like the crash course on life where like get a list of your friends.
yeah, and sell the heck out of them.
Yeah. But with my type of sales starting up, it was very consultative because it's insurance. You want to build a long time customer out of these people. You want to make sure that they have your trust from the sale because, again, like your business is built on retention and a book. So the quicker you get to that $1 million or that $5 million in book value, the quicker that you're having a great time. So you don't get that by getting one-time clients. So like that was the thing with insurance, and it kind of scoped me into the salesman I am today. It's that you gotta be able to it's very pull more than push because again you want them to feel as comfortable as possible, trusting you for as long as possible. When those rate hikes go up, they want to give you a call and say, hey, it went up $100, and they want you to say, oh, there's a lot of fraud in the market last year. They're just passing it down. There's nothing I can really do. I'm sorry.
It's
And
happening everywhere.
and they want you you want them to be able to believe that time, the next month, and the month after that. Like that's just how it is. So yeah, it's very consultative. You got to be able to cater to them at almost any time. Their car breaks down, their house floods at 10 o'clock at night. They want to know that they can call you. So it's a little different, and the aspect of these clients are your clients for months, for years, whereas like in the sales we do now, like where if we get them to come back, that's an amazing thing. We want that. Our retention rates are very high, but it's not book value based on how insurance is book value. So yeah, very consultative with with insurance in the beginning, and then even in the consulting firm too, it's literally consulting.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
yeah,
Makes sense.
Sure.
great time.
Sure,
But even
sure.
then the life stuff too, because I did. You look poised.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did you
retain your first clients? Like, were you reaching out? Were you cold calling? Were you advertising? Like, what were you
Yeah.
doing?
So I started at Allstate, and their slogan is "Smile and Dial." So, so yeah,
I like
I'm-
that.
Me
yeah.
too, actually.
So I'm reaching out and I'm smiling and dialing. Hey, Mr. Smith. Hey, Mr. Johnson. Hey, Mrs. Whatever. How you doing
So that
today?
Affleck guy today.
Yeah, just like yeah.
Oh my god,
so
the
yeah,
was
half
happy.
black guy, dude.
He was happy.
The half black guy. Were you there for that?
Yeah, he was happy. So,
Yeah, he was
the
cool.
Duck,
He was
like
cool.
the duck guy.
Yeah, like the duck.
yeah,
I'm like,
like,
That was
Um,
Grizz on the other end.
yeah, literally. Yeah, once upon a
I
time.
would
yeah.
answer you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. But yeah, it was smile and dial in the beginning, and then I learned the. I had a great mentor. My aunt was an insurance agent for 20 plus years. So when I got out of college, I went to her agency, and I had like her guidance on it. So you do start with the family, and it's different. It's not like go get your family. It's like, hey,
Let me quote you.
let me just see if I can get you a cheaper rate. Yeah, let me quote you. That's all. No obligation. And then you get into the referral partners. You just talk to the real estate agents, the mortgage brokers, the loan officers, anyone that touches someone who's buying a house or a car. I had salesmen, car salesmen sending me stuff. So but my first client was off a cold call. I had a list, and I was the tech guy there too.
Things never
So,
change.
Things never change.
Yeah, no, I uploaded our list. I got it scrubbed, and me and my buddy A-Rod, we just sat there and we started dialing. And Mr. Juarez, first guy, great guy.
First client.
First
First
client.
insurance client.
Yep.
Not
Where is
family
he now?
related.
I will not say more than just Mr. Juarez.
Good man.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Smart guy.
But yeah, no, it was a great time. And then when I had my own agency, same rule, same step. But yeah, it was the sales. It was good. But I don't know. I like this more.
yeah, this industry is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's new. It's exciting.
It's nice being in insurance
lucrative.
for residuals.
Yeah, and honestly, the residuals aside too, like I like this, and not to brag, but it's bigger tickets. Like as I said, you have to get up to at least $5 million in an insurance book because you're getting 10% of that. And then you want to make sure that you have your agents, your reps, your other people. It's like 6 people to make it happen. So $5 million is you maybe walking away with a comfy 150. With all the operating expenses, with all the employees. Unless you're just a serious badass and you're managing a 500-person plus book on your own, God bless you.
Seems like a hustle. I mean, every sales job.
Every
is a
sales is
hustle.
a hustle.
Every sales job is
Absolutely.
a hustle, and I think it's cool that a lot of people have came from like just different sales backgrounds to then come here. What are some other like things that people like employees have came from? That
we have
work
some
here?
blue collar people.
Yeah, we have some blue collar people.
Even there,
Couple
though,
construction.
we got a
yeah.
welder, construction,
College hunks.
mechanic, college hunks.
Engineering. What was Matt in?
Pharmaceutical.
Pharmaceutical.
Kinda.
That was like a BS job. Though.
Yeah.
Like I think his uncle owned that or something.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't
like
do it.
he was very underqualified or underqualified.
Underqualified.
Yeah,
Significantly underqualified. Yeah.
Guys wearing
He kept the jacket,
a
though.
lab coat on that day, and I was like, "What were you, like a butcher?"
Yeah, he was in the back of King Cullen with a knife.
Guys tattooed
Like,
it
nah,
down
just
to
sell
the
drugs
arms.
for free, dude. Like, what, man? What? Wow.
And the government pays me for it.
Literally.
Yeah, definitely plenty. I mean, but there's sales in every aspect. I mean, even Corey, he was a mechanic. You got to sell yourself as a
Yeah.
good mechanic.
Sell yourself as a good mechanic.
He does
do good
engines.
work.
I'm not giving him, I'm not giving some random guy my engine to look at.
There's
you know?
definitely ways to upcharge people and upsell people
In
the
the
car
auto
biz.
industry,
fluid.
absolutely.
Yeah, in the car
Blinker
biz.
fluid.
That's
And-
definitely one of the.
He was a transmission technician.
Shit,
like
I
that.
tell you, I
That's
might have
a
gotten
very
sold the other
expensive
day. I
situation.
finally brought my car in for service,
Yeah.
and my headlight, BS thing with my headlight, cost $3,000.
What?
And I'm like,
You already got sold, dude.
No, I didn't do it. I was like, no.
3,000.
My other dealership told me to too. Then I brought it to this other dealership, whatever. So
Well,
on
you're
and so
going to the
forth.
dealership.
Yeah.
I have bumper to bumper warranty. I was getting a bunch of other stuff done. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Take
So,
it
no, so
easy.
it's $3,000, and I'm telling the guy, I'm like, nah, just leave the headlight. I'll just drive around with one headlight. I really don't care right now. And he goes, all right, well, look, we have this program where we pay for half of it, and then you pay the other half. So let me see if I can get you approved for it. And I was like, all right, go for it. If you can get it cut in half, $1,500, then I'll do it. I want my headlight fixed.
It was $1,500 the whole time.
And it wasn't just the bulb; it was like this module and this and that. I don't freaking know. And the story, I ended up getting approved, and I did it. They gave me the half off, and they paid for half, and I paid for half.
Approved. Everybody gets approved.
He walked in,
But I'm gonna tell you, it's probably a BS freaking program.
It's gotta be,
They
dude.
probably get most of their clients to pay that $3,000, and I gave a little bit of pushback, and I'm happy. I just wanted it done. I don't really. When do you bargain with the dealership besides when you're buying the car? You know.
Yeah.
He walked into
Always.
his director's office and stood there for 30 seconds and then walked out and said, "You're approved."
It
It's
was
crazy.
just the break room. He had a donut and a cup of coffee while you pondered.
Hold on 1 second. Let me walk down to my director's office.
We're going down to underwriting.
See, Appio, this just goes to show that, like, even though you are a master salesman in your field, you have a great heart.
Yeah, you do.
He's such a good guy.
Heart of gold.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Ciao. I see Frankie's got his paper.
Yeah.
So,
we got a
we
surprise
got a
for
little
you,
skit. I know it's not on your
Chad.
paper.
You can't look at mine.
Yeah.
Our papers are different.
We've
You
been
can
doing
tell.
our little skits lately. We got a nice one for Mr. Chow to kind of express his expertise in his field, and we're gonna give you a little segment, and you got to let us know what they like, what program they should go into, basically.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Who's going? You
You
want me
lead
to
us
say
off.
it?
Oh, you
All
got
right,
that
I'll
paper.
lead it off. All right, Chow, Mr. Chow. He's
Chow
going to
mein,
pick the
chicken chow
product
mein.
and program that best fits this customer. So, Mr. Chow, the guy has a business for the past 2 years. He has done no revenue for the most recent 3 months. He's got a 550 credit score. He owns a consulting company.
We're gonna get him a cosigner and go Lexlock.
Yeah, Chow.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
Chow. All right, question 2. Grizz.
The client wants to start a business. They're looking for $450K. They have a 700 credit score. They have no real estate. Answer.
Gonna also push that guy over to Lexlock.
Hey,
Let's get the job done.
Chow.
Shout out to Lexlock.
Brought to you by Lexlock.
Lexlock.
Funny about this third one was this is actually one of my own personal files at one point.
Oh, nice.
So, staffing agency, 5 years time in business, has 750 plus credit score. He does about $300,000 a month, profited on his tax returns. Everything looks great. He's looking to move into a new facility, but the deadline for this new facility is in 3 days. He needs the financing. What are we doing?
We're gonna get him the best cash advance option that we could possibly
Yeah,
find.
Yes, we are.
There you
Yes,
So
we
go.
are.
why is that for this specific client?
Yeah.
Speed. They
Speed.
need it within 72 hours. Your only option to get funding like that is borrow it from a friend or get a cash advance.
Yeah.
Yep.
However, the prepaid discounts that he could see if he has a return on investment is probably tremendous on a file like that. Was that
100%. All unsecured funding.
And then he ended up later on receiving, at the time, the largest Lexlock that we funded.
Wow,
Nah.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. Just funded
Oh,
$300,000.
Just crushed it
Wow,
today.
that's that
Yeah.
Speaking of
client.
that,
Funded
yep.
$300,000 Lexlock today. Shout out Corey. Great job, Corey. Great job, Appy,
Yeah.
on that one.
Still pushing on another 100,000 onto it with one of our banks. 15,
Yes,
15
That
year.
will be 400,000.
It's in the booking process already. It's closing, but it's a 15-year line of credit with a 5-year term out, a revolving line of credit for 15 years, and any balance carried over beyond that 15-year point gets structured into a 5-year term loan to wrap it all up.
It's a beautiful thing.
I'll take 2.
Please.
I'll take
4,
2.
please.
All right, Appio. Ask the next one.
All right, Mr. Chow. This business owner has a construction company. He has a 680 credit score. He does decent revenue, but has not gotten the dollar amount he has been looking for from any other lender. Has a ton of new equipment he owns entirely, and there's no deadline for his financing. 680 credit, does decent revenue, but has not gotten the dollar amount he's been looking for. Has a lot of new equipment that he owns outright.
So if he
No
owns the
deadline for
equipment
financing.
outright, we're gonna obviously look to leverage that, get him the cheapest cost of capital on that. But from a sales aspect, we're gonna take a look at the file and see if we can get it funding it as soon as possible and kind of push his needs up and make some money here.
There is no deadline for the financing.
That's the thing. There is no deadline, but if you put the right offer in front of somebody, you can get them to act quicker than they originally planned.
So what were you talking about? With
And the
with
answer we were
leveraging?
looking
My
for
construction
was.
What do you
You had it.
Yeah, you
The ball,
almost had it.
the ball was in your mitt.
You literally said
Come
this
on,
is the answer,
man.
but we're gonna push the other thing.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The correct answer for the show
Yes.
would be leveraging a piece of equipment or
We're
Asset-based
Asset
lending.
based,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Asset-
Asset-based
that was the
lending.
answer we were looking for.
But as a salesman,
the VP of sales.
we're here to make money. Let's call it what it is.
You're crazy, Chow.
Oh, my God.
Anyway,
Chicken
last
another
one.
one?
This one's good for you, Chow. It's a restaurant. So we got a restaurant owner, does $85K a month, has 680 credit, looking to have something that they could use for overhead repeatedly, will not take a daily payment.
We're gonna go with the line of credit. on that one.
Hey!
Absolutely. And we're not going to go with the Lex line of credit just
No.
because we want it as quick as possible.
Yes, sir.
Fast turnaround time. Let's get them funded in and out.
Also, his credit wasn't quite there.
680, no?
Yeah, but he's not gonna get his best bang for a buck with the revenue he's doing. He's probably
This
better
is
off going with
Definitely.
his
correct.
business line of credit
Yeah.
with you.
Good
Yeah.
job,
There you go,
Chow.
Chow.
Good job,
Expert
Chow.
in
Yeah,
the field,
Chow.
yeah.
Yay! I thought that was really cool. I like how we start incorporating things for like our guests to do.
I
Did
like
you like
that,
that?
too.
Did you
I
like
loved it.
that? Yeah, that
Are you
was
happy
cool.
you didn't have to put a blindfold on and feel various objects in your hands?
This is a
Yeah,
keyboard.
no, I
Would you
know.
like that?
No, I saw your dad go through
mouse.
it. He
was
did a
going
hell of
through
a
it.
lot better than I would have.
He was going through it. Yeah, he's a demon. He's a
Yeah.
demon.
What, he knows
Mr.
exactly what
Fragile.
a
Mr.
how long
Frags,
foot is.
Mr.
Chow,
Frags out.
Chow, you missed it. This man blindfolded took
I
a
didn't miss
tape
it. I saw
measure.
the-
Oh my
I saw that.
god,
Were you there?
dude.
Oh,
Do you watch our podcast?
I do.
Wow.
Oh, Chow.
Is it up yet?
Thanks,
Yeah.
man. Wow, I got a tear in my eye.
No.
It's not up yet.
Not
In
so
the
cool,
background.
Chow.
In the background.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You don't have to pretend to like us, Chow.
Yeah,
It's
Chow.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't like. I love.
Okay.
Damn.
Oh,
Aw.
Chow.
Not boo.
Not
Chow.
boo.
Oh,
Chow.
yay,
Yay,
Chow.
Chow.
Yay, Chow.
Oh yeah, but the tape measure thing was crazy.
Crazy.
It
was
was
nuts.
12
Absolutely
foot
crazy.
onto the freaking millimeter.
You know, you want to know why?
I
We'll
already know
save that
why.
for after the podcast.
I already know why.
Anyway.
Full
Oh,
force of
hey,
truth.
oh.
Take it easy.
So, one thing that I wanted to talk about is the way that we close over here at Lexington compared to the other way that people might close at other companies, right? And really what allows us to win a lot of deals over. So, VP of Sales, talk to us a little about how we close deals over here at Lexington. How do we teach our guys?
Consultative. That's the biggest thing I can push on people is you need to be as transparent and as open as possible with these clients. Everybody that is calling them is shoving these deals down
Yeah.
their throat. They're getting
Shoving.
30, 40 phone calls a day from people offering the same product. You need to stand out. You need to differentiate yourself from the competition. How do you do that? You hold the guy's hand, you walk him through the process, show him everything, and eventually he's going to trust you and go with you. And
Yeah.
that's going to help you retain business and keep that client coming back to you every time they need funding instead of getting them in and getting them out the door just because they may have needed it right then and there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think you're
that's-
absolutely right on that. We have so many clients that just feel like they can feel relieved when they're
Relieved to
talking
talk
with
to
us.
us,
Like,
yes. Like you're
Like they can kinda
finally-
let
Like,
their
I finally
guard
have someone I
down.
could trust.
I
Yeah.
understand what's
It's like
going
the
on.
saddest thing
You
ever.
wanna
It
hear,
really
you
is.
wanna
It's the
hear a
saddest
quick
thing
little
ever.
side story that's actually very relevant to this. So, me and my sister, we run a bowling league,
Oh no.
and so my sister just started here.
Your sister's in the bowling league too.
Yeah, it's me, my dad, my sister, and her
she
boyfriend.
beats him every time. You didn't know that?
Yeah,
What?
no,
Really?
Literally,
She-
I don't think not ever once. Actually, maybe a couple. Times.
So every time.
No,
I honestly took a
I'm
shot.
very
on that one. I thought
mediocre at
maybe
bowling.
you would beat her.
Very mediocre, but we're there, and she just started here fairly recently. So there's this other guy who's kind of in the same industry as us, and he's like a older gentleman, and he comes up to us and he's just talking to us, and he's like, you know what works every time, and then gives me like the sleaziest sales pitch I ever heard, and I was like, then he walked away, and I just looked at my sister. I was like, don't ever do that.
Yeah.
Like that's not
Do you
how this
remember it?
goes.
Yeah, you told me that
the
story.
sales pitch.
It's not good.
It's not.
No.
good.
It's not good.
Off
It's not
camera.
good.
Yeah, I was just like, all right, brother.
Yeah, our industry, for whatever reason, I mean, it's unregulated in the alternative world. I mean, we're in the traditional world, so it's a lot more regulated on that aspect. What's cool is that we have Appio and Ryan here, and they run the sales departments on each like different realm of the
Yeah.
company. Ryan's on the alternative end.
You can tell
Appio's
by how they're
on
dressed.
Appio's on the traditional financing end.
Like the
So
light and dark
Appio's
side.
working with banks like major national banks, regional banks, credit unions. Ryan's working with alternative lenders like Blue Vine, Headway, On Deck, Credibly, Mulligan, people of that sort. Forgot where I was really going with this.
That they
Yeah,
they just work
alternative
their
financing.
respective
Yeah,
fields,
it's
traditional,
So-
regulated,
But how in both ways we
unregulated.
still take the consultative approach, and our
You
clients.
still need to
appreciate
go
it either way.
consultative with it. But you almost can't even drop the hammer on how amazing our LexLock program is to everybody right away because they almost won't like believe you.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
of what people have put them
Yeah.
through in the past. And that's what I was going to get into is that our industry is unregulated in the alternative aspect. So a lot of, almost it's like the wild, wild west of financing in a lot of ways. And almost anything goes, right? Now the people who have bad selling tactics, they don't last long in the industry, right? But they might
get
get
a couple
50,
people.
100 deals maybe, you know what I mean, in their
Mhm.
lifetime before the SEC comes knocking on their door or something happens.
But by that point, they've already.
By that point, they already got 100 people, and then
It's-
I mean, there's 100 bad people. You times that by 100, that's already.
these are small businesses.
Is that
These are
100,000 people or
people's
10,000 people?
I think it's 10,000.
Yeah,
these are
100,000.
small businesses. These are people's families that
Yeah.
people are screwing over
yeah,
and
it's horrible. Just to make
ruining
one
just
quick
to,
sale.
to make
Yeah.
a couple bucks.
Yeah,
It's
it's insane.
guys, what are we doing?
It's so bad, and what you guys got to realize is, especially in the alternative spaces, you guys are going to make your money off the renewals,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
There's
100%.
a lot of the bigger companies and like us, like we're not trying to make the money off the first
New
transaction.
deal. Yeah, no.
We make it off the renewal, right? With all the money that we put into marketing and all we pay to our sales reps and partners, we barely make anything off the first play, right?
Yeah.
We're looking for that long-term relationship with the customer, and it's great that we have the traditional alternative, right? So that they could kind of come back and forth to us whenever the need arises. And the thing about MCAs and why you need to diversify yourself and offer a ton of product offerings is there's a butt/ass for every seat, guys, right? There's a time and place to take out a merchant cash advance, and there's pretty much always a time and a place to get a Lex lock. Why would you never want a line of credit with your bank that
Yeah,
you don't have to
literally.
use whenever? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Prime rate. So, but with that being said, you just got to diversify so that when your clients need that quick money, you're there and we're there for them every single time. And we're
Yeah.
going to give them the best product and the best program in the alternative space every single time.
And I used the line today, and I want to follow up right after this too. But I used the line today: "Fast money ain't cheap. Cheap money ain't fast."
That's a good one. That's a good one. Because a lot of people sometimes in the Lex Lock program will get on us a little bit. It's because they're so used to just cash advances.
Yeah, getting funded in 24 hours.
And then they're so pissed about their cash advance.
Yeah, and then they're so
Yeah.
pissed, and it's
Instead
like we're working our hardest, like getting you funded within like a week's worth of time with a bank, which is like almost unheard of even to begin with. A week, 2-3 weeks. It's really dependent. We work as quick as the customer
Yeah.
does,
Yeah.
right? So
That's
we're
true.
slow with them on the phone, but the second they get off the phone with us, we are hustling around this office, getting them applied, getting them just doing whatever we got to do for them to push them along through this sales process.
I'll tell you, I was talking to one of our referral partners, one of our affiliates today, Pat. Not today, actually, the other week, over the weekend.
Shout
I was
out,
actually
Pat.
talking
Shout out,
with
Pat.
him.
Shout out, Pat.
You're the
Patty
man, Pat.
Wag.
Freaking love you, Pat. But I was talking to Pat, and he used to work for Stratton Oakmont. He used to work for Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street. He used to work for them when he was young. He was 19 years old. And he says he was different from the other guys. Like he's still with the same wife. He's a good guy. But like how everybody else there, he kind of hated how the atmosphere was, and especially now that he's older now, and he's looking back on everything and how those people were so predatory and screwed people over.
Yeah.
He's so happy that he's found us, and honestly, he's one of our biggest supporters and one of our
Yeah.
biggest affiliates as far as how
Yeah.
much he represents us, and
Yeah.
I
And we
appreciate this guy
appreciate it so
bar
much.
none.
We really
love
do.
this guy.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show that he had to change of heart over the years, and now he sees how we take our approach, and that's why he's gravitated towards us as a company. He's not even local, he's not even in our same state. He's not even in New York, but he's seen what we do. He's seen our approach. He's seen it firsthand, and man, this guy makes posts every single day for us about us, representing us, showing our programs.
Yeah.
And
Because
he's a
we
consultant
need to be.
now.
He knows we need to be out here. He knows the world needs to know about LexLock, and I mean,
He actually
slowly but
verbatim said
surely
that.
they will.
Yeah.
Because this is not just revolutionizing just our space, but just the financing space, just in general for
general.
these business owners. I mean,
Yeah.
we are literally becoming a one-stop freaking shop.
Yeah.
Chase Bank is not your one-stop shop.
No.
They can only do so much for you.
Yeah.
An alternative lender like On Deck, there's only so much they could do for you. A marketplace like us, with over 100 commercial lenders on our platform, with over 10 to 20 national regional banks, with over 10 to 20 amazing credit unions, offer great rates and terms, amazing products and programs. I mean, we truly have it all.
Yeah.
We
And
truly have it
bottom.
all.
And just the
That's why we
knowledge of
have our whole
knowing
discovery
exactly where to
calls.
bring them.
Exactly where to bring them. And knowing which lender/bank pulls credit, maybe even from a certain bureau or not. I mean, we
Yeah.
know everything down to a T. I mean, the data and analytics we've ran to just get to where we're at. I mean,
You'd think we're $1 billion company.
yeah.
Soon to be.
Be that.
That
Oh,
goes
right,
out
so-
to hard work to this guy right here.
Oh, I'm all right.
Frankie Boom.
I'm all right.
100
I'm
hours
all
a
right.
week for this guy.
I'm all right.
Clap it up for that.
Some
Love
Appio's
that.
dad said on the podcast the other day that I'm now going to say for the rest of my life is somebody said to him when he was growing up, you don't deserve shit until you work 100 hours. And I mean, I'm doing that. So I feel like I deserve some shit, right?
You deserve some shit. I'll give you some shit.
I appreciate that. I'll take your shit. I'll take it.
But one day I will deserve everything that's coming our way, and you guys are going to get everything that you deserve in your lifetimes as well. And I'm just happy that this company was able to even just start. I mean, our story is remarkable. It's the coolest story in all of finance. It's the coolest story in the entire freaking world. I mean, we just took our childhood friends and just started up. They came from nothing and just grew this into a multi-million-dollar company, soon to be a publicly traded company, revolutionizing the finance space.
I'll never forget when we got our first contract signed. We thought
You told me
that was
this.
it.
We thought we funded the
Deal
deal.
funded.
we thought
Contract
the deal was
signed.
funded. We
It's
didn't know they
over.
had to do like a bank login and the funding,
Funding
call.
call and-
Yeah, it was
Did it end up
so
funding?
fun.
No,
Yeah,
got killed.
No, got killed. Dude, like our first
first
5 deals
yeah.
got killed.
Yeah, it was
And
rough.
if you ever fall down in life, get up,
Get-
guys.
get up.
Lexington Capital's first 5 deals got killed in final underwriting, and we thought we funded the first one when they signed the contract.
Yeah.
So could you imagine?
pain.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
It is really funny. Just like, I mean, I didn't really know you or you, but watching these two and being where we are right now is hilarious. I think Ryan was probably the first person I picked up when I got my
Ryan
first
Chow
car at
was one of the
17.
goofiest dudes you'll ever meet in your life,
Yeah.
and you still are.
That's what I'm here
And he's
for.
the vice president of mother sales. Like, could you
wait for that
imagine,
Zoom
bro?
call.
I couldn't imagine walking through Newfield High School. Like, you show me a genie ball. This man just closing deals left and right, running a sales floor. Like, dude,
Like,
I would have been like, shut up,
It's
shut up,
one thing
dude.
that stuck with me. And
Shut
I'm not
up.
gonna name drop the teacher, but there was a teacher that told me I was either gonna be dead or in jail, and now I make more than them.
Simple as
Yeah,
that.
24. So
Simple as that.
Don't you love how life works?
Wait till
it's
40.
interesting.
Wait till 40.
Definitely interesting.
Our high school is gonna have a funny reunion.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna just be like
Alex is
it's gonna
coming
be
in a
Lexington.
helicopter.
Yeah, Lexington.
It's gonna be like
pulling
the,
up in
I
a
can't
helicopter.
wait for my reunion.
Oh my gosh.
Mine's
I
coming
can't
up
wait
soon.
for
I'm
my
a little.
reunion. If
Wow, you're
if
getting
my
old,
school doesn't
man.
set up a reunion, I'm having my assistant set it up. We're setting it up. I'm
Hell
setting it
yeah.
up.
Hell yeah.
That's
You're
happening.
gonna have a little bit more
I don't know if he's
competition,
capable
but-
of those kind of
He's doing
answers.
it. He's figuring it
Hey,
out.
he's
got
going
it.
today.
If not, I'll
He's doing
take it
good.
over.
He's doing good.
Yeah.
He's doing a great job.
How you
I like
doing?
that
Would
he-
to set up a reunion.
We give him advice and he implements it.
10-year
immediately.
He
reunion.
does. He's a quick learner.
Hey, how you
Yeah,
doing? I'm
wants
here
to
to set
learn.
How
up
you
on
doing?
behalf
I'm
of
setting up the
Appio.
reunion.
No, but he does really receive information and then attempt
He
it.
applies
And-
it.
Well,
right
even
away.
when he did the
does.
1 week with us and he was training with us, I brought up a couple things to him and he just right away
The
Immediately.
next call, he'll
implemented
change
it.
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably the most
100%.
moldable person ever.
Yeah.
That's because he's so
Young.
young.
He's young.
You gotta be multiple
getting there.
guys.
Yeah, you can't be stuck in your ways in this place.
Starting off fresh.
Got to be open to being molded.
100%. And that's anything in life.
There's the Lex way.
Every expert was once an amateur.
Yeah.
Right?
The day you stop learning is the day you start dying.
Just best say forever a student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forever a student. I'll be learning till the day I die.
Absolutely.
Episode
I just
6.
bought a sales course yesterday.
Oh,
we're
there
still
we go.
going. First time.
Yeah. Hashtag awkward. I thought we were trying to keep this to 45 minutes, boys.
Here we are.
I didn't realize the time.
He brought up the sales.
I bought a
Bob,
sales,
yeah,
tell us about it.
Buy,
over the
buy
weekend.
sales courses.
Yeah.
Listen to
Nice.
different
Learn.
sales gurus. Listen to gurus in different industries. Don't just listen to. There's not a lot of MCA gurus or alternative finance sales gurus, right? So watch Jordan Belfort. I know he sold stocks. That's okay. Patrick Bet David sold insurance. That's okay. He's really good. Alex Hormozzi, Gym Products. Who else is good?
Frankie D'Antonio.
Frankie D'Antonio. Just
Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
yeah, great
we
guy.
yeah.
He sells confidence.
I think our
Ramon-
viewers like him. I think our viewer base doesn't.
Our viewer base definitely likes him.
We try to be a little bit neutral for the podcast.
Listen, he's
We do.
motivational.
No,
That's what he
Andrew
sells
Tate, good
confidence.
guy, good
He does
guy in
sell
my book.
confidence.
You need to be confident in yourself
Sells
in order
drive.
to do
He does.
sales.
Yeah, it's the drive.
You gotta
top
want it
G.
in order to do it.
about
You
drive.
gotta
It's
want
about
it.
power.
Speed,
Put in the work.
agility, light.
Light.
All right.
Anyway,
six,
episode
baby.
6,
Episode
guys.
six.
Ciao. Thanks for coming down. baby.
Ciao. Thank
We
you.
appreciate you coming
Thanks
down.
for
Keep selling
Thanks
deals.
for
Keep
getting
us in
me,
business
Not
over
getting me
here.
hired from that job, so I ended up
It's-
here. I
it's
appreciate
okay.
that.
That's how it works out.
Life works out funny way, guys.
Yes, it does.
Hey,
I couldn't
listen.
be happier.
Let's talk about it. Signing out.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
That episode felt like the quickest one I think we ever did.
And every time we kiss, I swear I could fly. Can't you feel my heartbeat? So I want you to go.
Remy,
Damn it, a whole lot of blurbs, Remy. You're gonna have to work on that. Well, okay. Are you serious?
None of
That
them?
was.